Good evening. Thank you for watching UBC TV. This is News Tonight on Sign Language. Elizabeth Nakakoni. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. We'll dig into it. The First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, has welcomed Professor Jeffrey Sachs' advice to the government of Uganda to secure long-term loans at low interest rates and invest in priority areas including education, health, energy, agriculture, urban development, transport and digital revolution for rapid economic growth. Professor Jeffrey Sachs, a renowned economist and global leader in sustainable development, believes that Uganda's breakthrough to a high-income country in 40 years lies in a bold and forward-looking high-level public investment plan.
Professor Jeffrey Sachs, a renowned economist and global leader in sustainable development, believes that Uganda's breakthrough to a high-income country in 40 years lies in a bold and forward-looking high-level public investment plan. This plan will be financed by long-term, low-interest rate loans, providing the country with the 30 to 40 years it needs for this economic growth to take shape. Professor Jeffrey Sachs, along with his wife Sonia Elric, is in Uganda for an official visit. He has met and encouraged various leaders on feasible high-level public investment in priority areas to build human capital, infrastructure business capital, and protect the country's natural capital, as these are the keys to rapid development. In the meeting, education was highlighted as the most important investment of any society, emphasizing the need for more investment in quality education, teachers, classrooms, online learning, and up-to-date curricula that truly empower the young generation and future generations.
And so we've been just talking about what we must do now, planning for the next 5 years with our national development plan, and arguing the whole time and going back and forth. And so you come in and you say, you people, you can do what you want to do. It's like God saw where we were and really sent us this message. I don't know how to thank God.
However, Mrs. Museveni expressed disappointment with the Global Partnership for Education cancelling the ready-to-begin program of rehabilitating some old schools and training more teachers because the Parliament of Uganda passed the anti-homosexuality bill.
I believe that this is the moment for a breakthrough to very rapid economic development for Uganda, and I hope for all of Africa. This is very much possible. It requires hard work. It's kind of a marathon. It's a lot of investment. I'm very keen to work with you and His Excellency and all your wonderful cabinet, the Prime Minister, the National Planning Authority, and all of the fantastic colleagues that we've met to help bring this about.
He pledged to be Uganda's champion in approaching potential partners to offer the low-interest long-term loans to finance the plan, and also promised to follow up with the GPE's board and management to consider putting Uganda's program back on track.
Now that Professor has opened our eyes that there are areas where you can get money at low interest rate,
right,
and very long in terms of repayment.
Yeah.
I'm the happiest man, I can tell
That's
you.
the difference.
Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
The Office of the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, has allocated 30 million shillings to the Nubian community in Bombo. This fund is intended for the acquisition of land to address the community's critical need for a cemetery. The announcement was made during a meeting at the Speaker's boardroom with the leaders from the Nubian community. The Speaker encouraged them to articulate their challenges in a petition to Parliament, ensuring a more comprehensive and strategic approach to addressing their concerns.
The Nubian community in Bombo, consisting of approximately 1 million people who are scattered, has been historically marginalized despite actively participating in Uganda's struggle for peace. Leaders of the community, led by the senior opinion leader Twaha Hassan, paid a courtesy visit to Speaker of Parliament Anita Mong to discuss their pressing challenges. One of the foremost issues highlighted is the lack of a cemetery due to the existing one being full. In response to this, the Speaker's office has contributed 30 million shillings to facilitate the purchase of land for this purpose. Speaker Among, while acknowledging the urgency of the matter, advised the community leaders to encapsulate all their challenges in a petition to Parliament recognizing the strategic nature of some of these issues.
The issue was for a purchase of land since the other cemetery was full. So they wanted to buy land. The Honorable Hassan, how much an acre would be there? He said it would be around 25, but we've decided to give you 30 million. And put it in a petition, and we take it on from there.
And that's why I said I have a point.
And from that petition, we'll be able to make a follow-it up and to its conclusive end.
We are going to put it on the petition.
We'll have that petition and handle it.
That it is.
Senior opinion leader Twaha Hassan expressed gratitude for the support received and called upon the government to institute affirmative action for the Nubian community, asserting that such measures would significantly contribute to addressing their challenges.
Action in employment, affirmative action in education, in every sector of life. I am also aware, Madam Speaker, that there is a deficit in civil service. There is a report that came out, which I also read, and saw that there are only 300,000 in employment and 4,000 in deficit. I would be glad if you request me to bring at least 2,000 CVs.
Abdurrahman Dabule Ismail raised the issue of funds belonging to community members being frozen in accounts. Speaker Among assured the community that she would address this matter promptly. While expressing appreciation for the scholarships provided by the government, the Nubian community raised a concern about the employment opportunities for those who have completed their education. They highlighted that despite completing school, many individuals are yet to secure employment. I'm Nafka Farida and Gloria Guitabinji.
Meanwhile, Ministry of Education and Sports has introduced a verification policy aimed at assessing the standards of nursing and midwifery institutions nationwide. During the announcement of the December 2023 Ugandan Nurses and Midwifery Examinations Board results, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, the State Minister for Higher Education, emphasized concerns on the declining performance of health workers produced by these institutions.
The released UNIMEB results for certificate students indicated drop in performance attributed to lack of adherence to set guidelines.
Candidates were reported to have engaged in examination malpractice during the December 2023 UNIMEB semester examinations.
I've noted with concern the declining performance of our certificate students. I call upon the principals to look into the reasons for declining performance for certificate students, and please implement the guidance provided by the board for better performance.
The ministry is actively working on strategies to enhance the quality of training for health professionals, focusing particularly on improving instructional materials.
The government of Uganda has earmarked resources for improving quality of training and access to VET programs. My ministry recently handed over instructional materials and the vehicles to institutions.
While presiding over the UNIMEB exam results release, Dr. Muyingo unveiled a verification policy aimed at evaluating the enrollment process for these students.
This one joins using some other person's results. This is happening, the other thing is happening. This one is over-admitting. In response, the ministry has developed guidelines for admissions to ensure standardized, reliable, and uniform methods of admission throughout the country.
Out of the 54,864 candidates registered for the December 2023 UNMEB exams, 349 candidates did not participate due to incomplete tuition. The ministry urges health institutions to explore mechanisms allowing candidates to take exams and pay fees later.
1 diploma level candidate and 4 certificate level candidates could not raise tuition fees.
On the proprietors and the principals to explore other mechanisms of fees collection to ensure that our students do not miss their examinations, especially once they are registered and have been learning.
The UNMEB board appeals to the Ministry of Education and Sports for increased financial support to monitor students' assessment activities at practicum sites. Abdul Nasser Luwama and Rogers Komagom for UBC.
President Yoweri Museveni has commended the UPDF's commitment to serving with dedication amidst challenges within the force, spanning from working under hostile conditions to keeping the peace in unstable countries. The president, during the UPDF Thanksgiving ceremony at Kololo, assured of UPDF's strong foundation despite elements of corruption being addressed. Patience Rwabogo was the keynote speaker, expressing pride in the force's professionalism and education.
The UPDF held a Thanksgiving and prayer breakfast meeting at Kololo Independence Grounds in Kampala. This marks the 13th Tarehe Sita Thanksgiving, which is the culmination of the commemoration of the 43rd anniversary held in Busoga. The theme was drawn from the book of Psalms, chapter 116, verse 12. How shall I repay the Lord for his benefits to me?
The uniforms that you wear are a badge of dignity. Dignity is given to us to represent God before other people, to represent him and his glory so that we can worship him.
And so I very much believe that this manifestation of faithfulness and thankfulness premised on the fortitude and the fear of the Lord.
Patience Rwabogo, the keynote speaker, acknowledged the endurance of contributors to the liberation struggle, defining the UPDF as a different army from the NRA, embracing new technology and boasting an educated force.
Give God all the glory for what he is using UPDF to do within Uganda and the region. Where others fail, the UPDF goes in and succeeds beyond the expectations of many, and we are all supremely proud and grateful for our armed forces. The army of today is a highly professional army where education, world-class training, use of the state-of-the-art technology, international standards are practiced. The UPDF has forces deployed not only within Uganda, but also in the region.
She recognized their role in exporting peace and praised the armed forces' steadfastness and contribution to the economy, while emphasizing the importance of upholding democratic values for national unity and stability.
Whether it is in building roads or the recent airport construction, factories and bridges, farms, as we can see in the small booklet, the UPDF has grown into a large and well-organized professional army of the people.
She warned against the season of transition, which could have detrimental outcomes.
It is the time when the enemy rises up to hijack or derail the purposes of God in order to turn the nation back to the evil cycles of the past. This is clear in the biblical account of the children of Israel, who were on their way to the promised land from captivity in Egypt.
During his speech, the president stated that the foundation of the UPDF remained strong, despite elements of corruption and involvement in land matters by some members of the force.
Because they are done by only some people who are near some of those resources. And they offend the majority. The majority suffer and see and report. So that will be sorted out. But it's good also to approach it from the religious angle.
Professionally, he commended the structure of the army, including its specialized units for their dedication and motivation in missions.
Some of these situations you hear, like in Congo, like in Somalia, things are not so easy, but they operate because they are very dedicated people. So therefore, the command should not tolerate those who bring pollution into, they should not.
The Thanksgiving attracted senior officers and dignitaries from various government agencies. Ivan Kahwa and Haruna Mtesasira in Kololo.
Uganda Alcohol Industries Association has urged Parliament to put up strict laws that will govern illicit alcohol. These attribute the challenges of alcohol abuse raised from the Alcoholic Drinks Control Bill 2023 to unregulated alcohol.
The Committee on Health, Tourism, Trade and Industry continue to receive submissions concerning the Alcoholic Drinks Control Bill 2023. Today, the Uganda Alcohol Industries Association have submitted their state of consultation in regards to the bill.
You find that the regulated alcohol manufacturers contribute significantly to the economy and society, creating employment, paying taxes, supporting small and medium enterprises.
Headed by the board chair, Nile Breweries, Onapito Okomolot, the Uganda Alcohol Industries Association, explained the effects of the bill.
This law will divert the police to hunt for the innocent bar owners who are just already regulated and are doing the right thing.
Different provisions to support the bill were submitted to the committee, where stakeholders think if handled well, the bill might be satisfactory to all parties involved.
We are saying let's look for a law that captures the unregulated alcohol. And this bill as proposed, we do not believe it does that. On the contrary, it will divert the attention to dealing with the people who are already following the law.
We shouldn't be enacting a law that is going to deter us from enjoying that freedom of choosing where to do business from.
Going to create many illegal bars in the apartments, like what was in COVID.
However, members of the committee tasked the witnesses to address the main issues in this bill, especially the consumption measures.
It's about few people taking as much beer as possible, or as many people but taking the average recommended amounts.
There are proposals that you can suggest that can enable at least to somehow control the consumption of alcohol.
This also tasked the stakeholders on whether there are strong measures of monitoring consumers.
Most of your products have been indicated on you should drink above, those who should drink should be above 18. And my question is there, do you monitor the age of the consumers in your bars? As you stated.
And now we will take you to State House Nakasero for the presidential address on wealth creation.